mga kapatid, mga magigiting na anak ng bayan. Ang inyong pagparito ay pagpapakita na hindi kayo nasisindak sa napipintong panganib.
Andres Bonifacio, Mason, taga Maynila, anak ng Tondo.
Este es el ejemplo que algo pasar.
Mula na magkaroon ng pag-aalsa sa Cavite, naging lubhang mapaghinala na ang mga Kastila.
Kagingay, tagbilang ipapataw ang kaparusahang kamatayan sa garote.
Ang digmahang ito ang maglilikha ng walang tilang pagluha ng ating mga asawa.
Mga animal, may araw din kayo.
Lubos na mapanganib para sa tinatala mo ang maghihintahan.
Supremo, oras na po ng pagpupulong.
Hindi sumusuko ang ating mga kapanalip. Ang tagumpay sa Cavite ay pagpapakita na kaya natin lupigin ang puwersa ng Espanya. Ang digmaang ito magdadala sa atin sa mahabang parang ng paghihingalo. Punitin para sa kalayaan! Punitin! Punitin! Lagi ninyong pakatandaan na ang kadahilanan ng ating pagbuwis ng buhay ay upang makamit ang matagal na nating minimithing kalayaan mula sa paggustay at pagkaalipin.
Don Andres, kung ano man, kung sino man, handa akong mamuna o sumunod hanggang sa dulo ng buhay.
Kaya sa halip na malugmok, ipunin ang lahat ng inyong galit.
Pero kung siya lalaki, wala siyang kasalanan, maawa kayo sa kanya. Wala siyang kasalanan!
Bilang gatong sa nag-aalab ng puso. Anumang sigwa ay may paghupa. Anumang kadiliman ay dadaigin ng pagbubukang liwayway. At magbabayad sa bayan ang may pagkakautang. Tumating na. Tumating na ang araw ng mga tunay na anak ng bayan!
Quality and credible news. We seek truth, we refer truth, and nothing but the truth.
News that is unbiased.
News with no exemption.
This is CCC News Patrol, broadcasting at City College of Calapan. Here are your news anchor.
Great day, City Collegians. I am Marie Vergara.
And Alan J. Sena, and you are tuning into CCC News Patrol.
Here's a rundown of the top stories at this time.
Bonifacio and other members of La Liga Filipina founded the KKK.
Katipunan, an alternative Filipino government, serves as a secret administration in the start of the foundation.
Bonifacio laid down the three primary objectives of Katipunan.
The elections for aspiring leaders to be an officer of the First Supreme Council was held.
The membership, Katipunan codes, and Katipunan flag completed the organizational structures of Katipunan.
Bonifacio wrote the Ten Commandments of the Katipunan.
Aguinaldo established the Katipunan Cartilla.
A year after the foundation of the Katipunan, the women's chapter of the Katipunan was formed.
Kalayaan, the official newspaper of Katipunan, awakened the people from slavery among Spaniards colonization or Spanish colonization.
We will be right back with more news after this break.
Sa pagkagising ng mga Pilipino sa maling pamamalakad ng mga Espanyol, sila ay nagtatag ng kataas-taasan, kagalang-galang na katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan o ang KKK.
Noong ikapito ng Hulyo 1892, pagkatapos mabuwag ang La Liga Filipina at ipinatapon si Rizal sa dapitan, itinatag sa pangunguna ni Andres Bonifacio ang kataas-taasan, kagalang-galang na katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan, KKK ng mga ANB, ang Katipunan. Kasama sina Teodoro Plata, Ladislao Diwa, Valentin Diaz at Jose Dizon. Itinatag nila ito sa bahay ni Deodata Arellano sa number 72 Calle Escaraga sa Tondo, Maynila. Layunin nitong samahan na magkaisa ang bayan upang palayain ang Pilipinas mula sa Espanya sa pamamagitan ng himagsikan. Malinaw sa kilusan na hindi na sapat ang paghingi ng reforma sa Espanya dahil hindi naman ito nakinig sa mga hinain ng mga Pilipino.
Sa mga problemang hinarap ng mga Pilipino, pinakamalubha ang kawalan ng hustisya at ang kalupitan ng Guardia Civil, ang pagkait sa kalayaang maghayag at magtipon, ang limitadong edukasyon ng mga Pilipino at ang pagpapabaya ng gobyernong Espanyol sa komersyo at industriya. Mula 1892 hanggang 1896, lumaki ang kasapian ng Katipunan mula sa iba't ibang antas ng lipunan at bahagi ng Pilipinas. Sumiklab ang himagsikan laban sa Espanya noong 1896 at parang isang apoy ang kumalat sa iba't ibang panig ng kapuluan. Ang Katipunan ang sinasabing pinakaunang paghihimagsik laban sa isang mananakop na bansa sa Asya. Bilang isang kilusan, ang Katipunan ay mayroong dakilang layuning nagsisilbing gabay sa lahat ng mga kasapi. Ang mga layuning ito ay binuo ng tatlong tema: pampolitika, sibika, at moral. Sa layuning pampolitika, hinangad ng Katipunan na palayain ang Pilipinas mula sa mga Espanyol. Isasagawa ito sa pamamagitan ng armadong himagsikan tungo sa pagbuo ng isang bansang malaya.
Sa layuning sibika, nilayon ng Katipunan na maipalaganap ang katarungang panlipunan sa pamamagitan ng pagtatanggol sa mga naaapi at pagpaparusa sa mga nangaapi. Bahagi rin ng layuning ito ang pagtulong sa kapwa upang hindi masanay ang kapatiran na umasa sa iba. Ang layuning moral ng Katipunan ay nakasentro sa kabutihang asal, pagpapatibay ng kalooban at wastong pag-uugali ng bawat miyembro. Batid ng Katipunan na mahalaga ang malinis na kalooban sa ikatatagumpay ng mga adhikain ng samahan.
Si Deodato Arellano ang unang pangulo ng Katipunan. Nailuklok siya sa posisyon noong 1892. Noong Pebrero 1893 ay pinalitan siya ni Roman Basa bilang pinuno ng kapatiran. Noong 1895 naman, muling nagkaroon ng pagpapalit ng liderato kung saan si Andres Bonifacio ang naging pangulo. Ang tawag kay Bonifacio ay Supremo. Namuno si Bonifacio sa maraming labanan kontra sa puwersang Espanyol. Ang kanya ring mga sulatin ay naghubog sa diwa at kaisipan ng himagsikan. Isinabuhay niya ang mga aral ng Katipunan na kanya ring sinikap pagyamanin. Sa ilalim ng kanyang liderato, nagpatuloy ang paglakas ng kilusan hanggang sa tuluyan itong naghimagsik sa pamahalaang kolonyal noong 1896.
Once again, you are tuning into CCC News Report.
We are back to the local news. Bonifacio and other member of La Liga Filipina founded the KKK. Aya Vergara, please give us an update.
Thank you, Allen. So, the founding of the Katipunan was on July 7, 1892. The newspapers published the news about the arrest of Rizal the previous night, and the Governor General's order to banish him to the Pitan. So Rizal was not just banished, but also his works were banned also in the country. And because of what happened, a secret council was convened in number 72 Ascaraga Street. Patriotic Filipinos met at the house of Ascaraga Street, Manila, now Claro M. Recto Avenue. These men were Andres Bonifacio, Teodoro Plata, Valentin Diaz, Ladislao Diwa, and Deodato Arellano. And they were also with few members of La Liga Filipina, a progressive organization founded by Jose Rizal. They organized the secret society called Kataas-Taasang Kagalang-Galang na Katipunan ng mga Anak ng Bayan or KKK. It was a Philippine Revolutionary Society founded by anti-Spanish colonialism Filipino in Manila in 1892. It is a secret organization until it was discovered in 1896. This discovery led to the outbreak of the Philippine Revolution. This is Aya reporting. Back to you, Allen.
Thank you, Ms. Vergara.
Katipunan, an alternative Filipino government, serves as a secret administration in the start of foundation. Nadia Sumojo, give us an update.
Thank you, Aina. The Katipunan government has three bodies, the Kataas-Taasang Sangguniang or Supreme Council, the Sangguniang Bayan or Provincial Council, and Sangguniang Balangay or Popular Council. Respectively, they were equivalent of central government, provincial government, and municipal government. Judicial Council or Sangguniang Hukuman. Katipunan assembly composed of the members of Supreme Council and the President of Provincial Council. Secret Chamber composed of Emilio Asento, Andres Bonifacio, and Peo Valenzuela. The chamber sentence members were exposed of the secret of Katipunan. This is Naida Sumojo reporting.
Thank you, Ms. Sumojo.
Bonifacio, lay down the three primary objectives of Katipunan. Aya Vergara, please give us an update.
Thank you, Allen. The aims and structures of the Katipunan. Andres Bonifacio laid down three primary objectives of the Katipunan: the civic, political, and moral. Civic was based on the principle of self-help and the defense of the weak and the poor. Political was the separation of the Philippines from Spain to secure the independence of the colony. Moral was focused on the teaching and good manners, hygiene, and good morals. Its main objective was separation of the Philippines from Spain, and at the same time, the development of Filipinos as citizens of their nation once independence was achieved. This is Aya reporting. Back to you, Allen.
Thank you, Ms. Vergara.
The election for aspiring leaders of the Supreme Council was held. Ms. Nadia, please give us an update.
Thank you, Aina. The elected officer of the First Supreme Council are the follow: Deodato Arellano as President or Supreme, Andres Bonifacio, Comptroller, Ladislao Diwa, Fiscal, Teodoro Plata, Secretary, and Valentin Diaz as Treasurer. The elected officer of the Second Supreme Council are the follow: Roman Basa, Supremo, Bonifacio, Fiscal, Jose Toriano Santiago as Secretary, and Vicente Molena as Treasurer. The elected councilor were Bricio Brigido Pantas, Restituto Giber, Teodoro Plata, Teodoro Gonzales, and Ladislao Diwa. This is Naida Sumojo reporting.
Thank you, Ms. Nadia. The membership, Katipunan codes, and Katipunan flags completed the organizational structure of the Katipunan. Allen, give us an updates.
Thank you, Aya. Katipunan believes that there were three grades of Katipunan. These are Katipon, Kawan, and Bayani. Anak ng Bayan was the password of Katipon, Gombursa was the password of Kawan, and Rizal was the password of Bayani. They features also about Katipunan codes, and that codes will be displayed on your screen. In addition, Andres Bonifacio wanted the members to have a flag that utilized as a symbol of solidarity. A flag was fashioned with the help of his wife Gregoria de Jesus. This is Alan Jake Sena reporting.
Bonifacio wrote the 10 Commandments of the Katipunan. Allen, give us an update.
Thank you, Aya. Let us now address Katipunan's responsibilities. First, the first and most important duty of Katipunan is to love God above everything else. Second, always remember that God's love is also love of country, and this, in turn, is love of one's fellow men. Third, make it a point to remember that the true measure of respect and happiness is to die for your country's freedom. Fourth, all of your good intention will come true if you behave with peace, consistency, rationality, and faith in your actions and endeavors. Fifth, as you preserve your honor, keep the KKK's directives and goals in mind. Sixth, it is everyone's obligation to defend anyone who takes significant risk in the discharge of his duty, even if it means risking their own lives and fortune. Seventh, our personal accountability and fulfillment of our responsibility will create an example for our fellow citizens to follow. 8. Share your resources with the poor and unhappy to the extent that it is possible. 9. The true foundation of love is diligence in the work that sustains you. Love of yourself, your wife and children, and your brothers and compatriots. And lastly, any thief or traitor should be punished, but all excellent work should be praised. Believe that the KKK's goals are divinely inspired because the people's will is God's will. I am Alan Jake Sena, reporting.
Thank you, Allen. Aguinaldo established the Katipunan Cartilla. Miss Ira, give us an update.
Thank you, Miss Aya. So, the Cartilla of Katipunan or the Decalogue of Katipunan is not just an organization. It also built to fight the Spaniards or oppressors. But before, it was also built around the teachings of Jose Rizal, which is of course promotes education, promotes good values, and promotes good qualities for the Filipino people. And aside from freedom, they also wanted to create better citizens of the society. The Cartilla contains certain lessons that details not only the vision of the Katipunan, but the vision for an equalitarian and morally sound Filipino nation. The life that is not consecrated to a lofty and reasonable purpose is a tree without a shade, if not a poisonous weed. To do good for personal gain and not for its own sake is not virtue. It is rational to be charitable and love one's fellow creature and to adjust one's conduct, acts and words to one it itself reasonable. Whether our skin be black or white, we are all born equal. Superiority in knowledge, wealth, and beauty are to be understood, but not superiority by nature. The honorable man prefers honor to personal gain, to scoundrel gain to honor. To the honorable man, his word is sacred. Do not waste thy time what can be recovered but not time lost. Defend the oppressed and fight the oppressor before the law are in the field. The prudent man is sparing in words and faithful in keeping secrets. On the thorny path of life, man is the guide of women and the children. And if the guide leads to the precipice, those whom he guides will also go there. Thou must not look upon woman as a mere plaything, but as a faithful companion, you will share with the penalties of life. So, Emilio Jacinto became the editor of Kalayaan, the Katipunan newspaper. After the first publication, the membership of the Katipunan rose from 300 to 3,000 members. The effectiveness of the Kalayaan is attributable to its use of concepts and colloquialism familiar to the people. In one article, Jacinto wrote the parable of a beautiful woman appearing before a child in tears. The child asked the woman who she was, and she replied, "Because of my desert, the people have united and have forgone their self-interest, only to set their sights on the God of all. My name is Freedom, under the nom de guerre di mas ilaw." Jacinto wrote the narrative Liwanag at Dilim and the poem Ala Patria. The rise of Katipunan when the revolution broke in 1896, Andres Bonifacio and Emilio Jacinto led the siege of Polvorin San Juan del Monte, also known as the Battle of Pinaglabanan, and disguised himself in order to have Dr. Rizal escape, which later declined. Supremo Andres Bonifacio at that time is the president of the Haring Bayan or Great Nation, named Jacinto as the commander of the Revolution Northern Forces. KKK stands for Kataas-taasan Kagalang-galangang Katipunan ng mga Anak ng Bayan. The Kataas-taasan Kagalang-galangan ng Katipunan ng mga Anak ng Bayan, or Katipunan, is arguably the most important organization formed in the Philippine history. The fall, despite of Andres Bonifacio's unjust arrest and execution, has seen to and the rest of the Katipunan continued the witch battle with the Spaniards in Maizpis, Magdalena, Laguna, in February 1898. Emilio was wounded and caught in the convent in the Magdalena. He was repeatedly thrown off staircase, and it is believed that his blood stains the wooden staircase to this day. He tricked his captors and was able to escape. Following these events, the historian Augusto de Viana wrote that Jacinto became a meat vendor, and the Batangueño General Miguel Marvel was one of his meat suppliers. Emilio Jacinto died of malaria at age 23 on April 16, 1892 in Santa Cruz, Laguna. He may have also left a pregnant lover, Catalina de Jesus. Though he was young, Pinquian played a gigantic role guiding the revolution and founding the Philippine nation. The historical criticism, the main purpose of the text is for the new members to understand rules, principles, and teachings of the Katipunan. It also encourages people to avoid having change of hearts in choosing to join. It ensures that they understand that joining the brotherhood is not easy, and they will do what is needed wholeheartedly. Numerous accounts dated of the making of Cartilla to 1896 wherein the Supremo, or also known as Andres Bonifacio, wrote certain rules that serves as a guideline for new members. An earliest reference was of the Cartilla ng Katipunan was found in the minutes of a Supreme Assembly meeting held in December 1895. In 1892, the utak ng Katipunan, and also known as Emilio Jacinto, wrote the Cartilla ng Katipunan and the Oath of the Katipuneros. According to the Presidential Museum and Library, Bonifacio's admiration to Jacinto motivates him to write a Decalogue and to adopt Jacinto's Cartilla as the official teachings of the Katipunan. The Decalogue is somehow resembles the Ten Commandments, while Jacinto's Cartilla resembles the declaration used in Mabila's Masonic lodges, and its preamble echoes the purpose of the Masonic document. A historian in name of Jim Richardson said that Cartilla is the best known of all Katipunan texts, the only document of any length in print by the Katipunan prior to August 1896 that is known to be still extant. This is also stated in his book, The Liberty of Light, which said to have direct translation of the original Cartilla ng Katipunan penned by Jacinto. Therefore, we can see clearly that Cartilla ng Katipunan was originally written by Emilio Jacinto and not by Bonifacio. Bonifacio only adopted the Cartilla and wrote a Decalogue. So, the Cartilla of Katipunan is a small complex that's given to the members of the Katipunan, particularly to the new ones, or also called newcom. This is Glenn Saira and Serna reporting.
Thank you, Saira.
After the foundation of Katipunan, women's chapter of the Katipunan was formed. Miss Bell, give us an update.
Thank you, Alan. In July 1893, the year after the foundation of the Katipunan, the women's chapter of the Katipunan was formed. Andres Bonifacio suggested that women should be taken in as members of the Katipunan. He decided that only the wife, sister, daughter of a Katipunero, and a few selected women could be eligible for membership in order to minimize the danger of exposing to society to women who could not be relied upon. Among the women initiated were Josefa Rizal, Gregoria de Jesus, Marina Dizan, and Angelica Lopez Rizal. Josefa Rizal is Jose Rizal's sister. She was elected as the president of the women's chapter of the Katipunan. She also promoted ideas of liberalism through Logia de Adoption, where she used the name Sumikat. We also have Gregoria de Jesus. She is the vice president and the Lakambini of the Katipunan. She had endured many sufferings and even faced many danger while accompanying the soldiers in the battle of the revolution. Marina Dizon, the secretary, presided over initiation rites for women, kept the records, and provided orientations for the new members about the constitution and the teachings of the Katipunan. Lastly, we have Angelica Lopez Rizal, Rizal's niece, who became the fiscal of the women's branch. This is Maribel Robles. Back to you, Allen.
Thank you, Miss Bell.
Kalayaan, the official newspapers of the Katipunan, awakened the people from a long slavery among Spanish colonization. Miss Bell, give us an update.
Thank you, Aya. The Kalayaan was the official organ and newspaper of the Katipunan. In order to create or publish the newspaper, Emilio Jacinto purchased some templates to be used in printing the Katipunan newspaper. They also tend to stole templates from the Spanish printing press in order to make the newspaper. Due to the donation of Candido Iban and Francisco del Castillo, the newspaper was released. That happened because Iban won a lottery worth of 1,000 pesos. From that, they bought a printing machine worth of 400 pesos and hid that machine in Bonifacio's house. Two great printers, Opiano Fernandez and Faustino Duque, took care of the press. To mislead the Spanish authorities, Jacinto reported that the Kalayaan was printed in Yokohama and dated January 1, 1896, with Marcelo H. Del Pilar as the editor. The first issue contained about an editorial circulated by Marcelo H. Del Pilar of the story Pahayag, the Manifesto by Jacinto, which is about the conversation between a patriotic youth and a blurry phantasm of liberty. In the story, Image of Liberty regrets she has not visited the island for 300 years. The youth described the sorrow of the Tagalog people and begging liberty to stay and help them to be free. And this also contains the poem Pag-ibig sa Tinubuang Lupa, which is about being proud of one's nationality and country as written in the first stanza. Aling pag-ibig pa ang hihigit kaya sa pagkadalisay at pagkadakila ng pag-ibig sa tinubuang lupa? Aling pag-ibig pa? Wala na nga, wala. In order for them not to get caught, Jacinto used the pen names Pinkian and Dimas Ilaw. Bonifacio used Agapito Bagong Bayan and Pio Valenzuela used alias Madlang Away. This is Maribel Robles.
We will be right back after a short music break.
Aling pag-ibig pa ang hihigit kaya sa pagkadalisay at pagkadakila gaya ng pag-ibig sa tinubuang lupa. Aling pag-ibig pa? Wala na nga, wala.
Walang mahalagang hindi inihandog ng may pusong wagas sa bayang nagkuko, duguyaman dunong, katiis at pagod, buhay may abuting magkalagot-lagot.
Ang nakarang panahon ng aliw, ang inasang araw na darating ng pagkatimawa ng mga alipin, liban pa sa bayan, saan tatanghalin, saba ng abang, mawalay sa bayan, ngunit may laging sakbili ng lumbay, walang malala, pinasang-masang, kundi ang makita'y lupang tinubuan. Kayong nalagasan
ng bunga't bulaklak. Kahoy niya ring buhay na nilantat suka ng balabalakid, makapal na hirap, muling manariwat, sabay ay lumiyag, ipakahandog-handog ang buong pag-ibig hanggang sa may dugoy, ubusing itigis kung sa pagtatanggol buhay ay kapalit. Ito'y kapalaran at tunay na langit. Alin pag-ibig ba ang higit kaya sa pagkadalisay at pagkadakila, kaya ng pag-ibig sa tinubuang lupa. Aling pag-ibig pa wala nang awala, gaya ng pag-ibig sa tinubuang lupa. Aling pag-ibig pa wala nang awala. At this moment, we have here our important guest. Let us all welcome Mr. Jordan Torres. Give him a round of applause. Okay, Mr. Torres, how much do you know about Andres Bonifacio?
Andres Bonifacio was born on November 30, 1863. His parents was Santiago Bonifacio and Catalina de Castro. He has three brothers, Prosopio, Seriaco, and Traujo, and has two sisters, Espiridioma and Maxima. Bonifacio is anti-prior and anti-Spanish. He used to call them greedy, immoral, cruel, and lazy.
In that time, Mr. Torres, what was his source of income?
He used to sell canes and paper fans to support his living.
Can you please tell something about his twin soul?
Bonifacio found a twin soul in Katipunan. It is Emilio Jacinto. Jacinto was born on December 15, 1875, and like Bonifacio, he lived a hard life. When her father died early, that pushes her mother to send him to his uncle for support.
Here is my last question, Mr. Torres. What was his contribution in the Katipunan?
His greatest contribution to the Katipunan, I think, was when he was assigned by Bonifacio to be a leader of the rebels in Laguna. And the articles and books that he wrote on Filipino language for us Filipino to understand his feelings in anger in that time of Spanish colonization.
And that's all the updates for this day. I am Marie Vergara.
And I am Alan J. Sena, and this is
CCC News Patrol.